What up, y'all? This your boy Sherry Speech. Before I get anything started, hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to subscribe to my boy Millaboy Gaming. We're gaming and live streaming and so forth. Okay, in this episode of Riverdale, we just got returned to Riverdale finally. Season 3, episode 13, chapter 48, Requiem for a Welterweight. And we see my boy Archie get into the boxing game a little bit. He gets in a little bit over his head with Elliot and Elio. And the problem with that is Elio was like, "Look, man, you have to throw that fight against Ranson, or else you gone, bro. You're getting offed." And Archie was, he wanted to do this all by himself, mind you, but he knew he had to rely on Sheriff Keller just a little bit. So that's what he did. Sheriff Keller became his coach, his boxing coach, and he taught him the real thing. Even Keller said, "Look, man, Ranson doesn't have the training that I have. He wasn't in the army like I was." And Keller was straight on, man. Reminds me back when I first started my MMA stuff, man. It gave me a lot of deja vu, a lot of good memories too. And then also the thing with Jughead and Gladys Jones, man, is getting up into a damn wildfire. And I say that respectfully because Gladys Jones is ready to take over, bro. Even so much so that literally Jughead has to go fetch the remaining members of the Ghoulies and the Gargoyles, put them together, make them join their gang. Jughead wasn't able to do that. He even tracked down the leader, Kurt, and that didn't go over so well because Kurt was so invested into the Gargoyle King. So Gladys did what he couldn't do. So much so, it scared Jughead so damn much he was ready to die. He grabbed the strap and getting ready to blow off. But Gladys was able to stop him and realize, look, you guys have to get along to get along. So much so, in next week's episode, we see that that's not gonna happen because one of the guys is like, "Look, man, you need us more than you need us more than we need you," and that's honestly a fact. I say it, but it is. Another thing I want to get into is Hiram figuring out that oh shit, Dooley here got a little bit of a contribution the day that I actually went to the damn hospital. Hermione scared shitless by this revelation that Hiram knows now. The good thing about that is Veronica stuck up for her mom and said, "Look, Dad, I'm the one who burned up your drugs and your equipment." Hiram's like, "All right, cool. You owe me 75 grand." Because, mind you, Veronica did not want Gladys Jones to meet with Hiram because that would only be bad for business. That would actually be undoing everything that Veronica actually stood out for. Gladys Jones wants to take over the drug scene in Riverdale. Hiram wants in on that. And so this is pretty much the deal that Gladys Jones and Hiram made. You you make sure that I'm in the candy business. Gladys Jones was like, "Look, I'm in the candy business. You make sure you supply me with that. I supply you with that. You supply me with the prison to distribute it." Hiram says, "No problem, but you make sure you give me prisoners for my prison." And that's their deal. Here's just one problem I have with that. Something's gonna go down. Something's gonna erupt from underneath their feet and disrupt that whole damn thing. And not even just, and let's get on to the rest of the episode here. Betty is once again trying to stop the farm from doing their business, man, because Allison is in there deep. I'm talking about deeper than fucking Polly at this point. So much so, Betty gets desperate and looks up former allies, former colleagues of the farm. She finds this one woman by the name, I think her name is Myrtle or something of that nature, or Mary. Can't remember her name at this moment. Her sister died the same way via baptism that Allison actually went through. So much so, Betty had to resuscitate her because Polly was holding down that bathtub almost to the point where she died. Betty gets there in the nick of time, and unfortunately, like I said, Allison is in there deep because now when she wakes up and she gets home, the first thing she's thinking about is getting rid of, purging what's left of her, which is getting rid of the house. So then that way she can live on the farm. Her, Betty, and Polly can be on the farm along with Evelyn and so forth. So we'll see what happens next week on chapter 49. With chapter 49, the Fire Walk with Me. Fire Walk with Me. Peace and love.